G'day guys, Casey here from Mick Football for an Outdoor. Pretty exciting one, this one today. I thought we'd give you a run through our latest build, Project Spartan. So Will, our customer with this one, he's located in Sydney. Been following us on our social medias for a little while. Wanted us to put a build together for him. He was wanting a vehicle basically with emphasis so he can use it for work and to tour in. So big emphasis on electrical system in this one. He wanted a system where he wasn't relying on a canopy on the back of the car, but still wanted to have the ability to run like an induction cooker. So massive emphasis on the electrical package in this car to be mounted all internally in the vehicle, but still having the flexibility. So if he wants to put a canopy on the back at a later date, he can, but then he runs an excavation company, so needed the tray space for anything he might need for work. So obviously starting base package, 79 series dual cab Land Cruiser. This one's had a JMACX 4495 GVM upgrade done on it with 4-inch lift and 35-inch tyres. So that's all done pre-registration. So we cut the chassis off behind the cab. It gets a whole new rear super chassis sleeved onto it, which includes a 300mm chassis extension, and that also provides coils in the rear. So it's quite an extensive conversion. It has a fair bit of correction components involved in that. So we upgraded clutch, obviously upgraded torque at 3.5-inch exhaust to suit the core conversion and the extension. Upgraded hydro brake booster, so we get more braking pressure. He's actually also optioned this one to have the JMACX 6-pot front calipers on the front of it, an upgraded rotor. So, for a 79, mate, it stops really good. Obviously, you've got track-corrected rear diff in the back to improve that stability with the rear sway bar. That super chassis also includes a tow bar integrated into it with rear winch mount. Also gives us the ability to tow up to 4.5 tonne behind this vehicle as well. Yeah, that basically gives him all the payload in the world he'll need for, if he does put a canopy on the back, if it does tend to plan to tow with a caravan. He's got that flexibility with the vehicle and the capability as well. Having that 300mm extension does make the Land Cruiser that little bit more stable for off-roading and on-road, and makes it a little bit more pleasurable to ride. It's paired it with the JMACX Alpha electric shock absorbers, so it's got an electronic controller in the cab, so you can really fine-tune that, or even run it on an automatic setting. So it has a G-force sensor, so it'll auto-adjust for him if he likes as well. And that's on one of our really nice OTA mounts in the car. But starting at the front of the vehicle, we're running our ATD bar work on the front. It's not our typical four-wheel drive bar, it's the Intimidator style, so the post does lean forward a little bit more. So again, giving that protection if he does plan to tour in remote parts of Australia. That always includes the steady lights integrated into it. We've paired it with a set of Lightforce HTXs, so he's got all the light output in the world. Your GME whip, he's also got the short stumpy one there as well, depending on the terrain he's going to. For recovery in the front, we're running a worn Zeon 12,000 pound winch inside there. We're running our rails and steps down the side of the car. You'll notice we haven't got any upgraded mirrors on this one yet. Will does plan to bring this back to us for a stage 2 part of the build, so that'll be potentially later on in the year. Running Yamaha Mickey 35-inch tyres with the ROH Assaults with the graphite centre. Pairs really nice with silver. Really good choice there from Will on that one. Then moving to the rear of the vehicle, we've gone with our Norweld Elite Tray package. That was the tray option Will really fancied for this particular build. So a couple of differences on the Elite Tray, like your extruded headboard. We've got the tie-down points already in the floor, ready to go. There's nice colour coding, extrusions down the side of the car, just really give it that appeal. Nice flared mud guards, and with the 300mm extension with the JMACX Super Chassis, we've got that extra little toolbox at the front. In the rear toolbox, we've done our ARB twin-cylinder air compressor inside there, so that's obviously for tyre inflation, but it's also for his airbags, which are part of the GVM upgrade. So that's all controlled in cab by the REDARC TVMS system, which we'll touch on in a sec. Got the spare up on the headboard. Naturally, we've got a couple of endo plugs up there as well. Again, for future emphasis, if he ever wants to put a canopy on the back, that he could power it all from there, just for his fridge and stuff like that. Obviously, torque and exhaust on the rear, that's all part of the JMACX GVM upgrade. Tow bar is all integrated in on the JMACX Super Chassis, so we don't have a separate bolted on tow bar. And there is a rear winch cradle there. We may look to do something in there at a later date when we've just got our Anderson plug and trailer plug there at the rear with airbag inflation valves as well as a backup. Trundle drawer under the rear as well as all part of it. And already got their really nice lights on the rear. That's all exclusive to their tray packages. And obviously because he does run a excavation company, he did require the rear ladder rack on the rear, so that's obviously for work requirements. We've had the tray just spaced up a frag more than we typically would. He's planning to put a roof rack on at a later date, so he didn't want the stuff on the roof rack to interfere with things he'll load on the tray. So So we just got that just up that little bit more than you typically would. Also, as part of the build, Will did want some extensive fuel range for the vehicle. So as part of the JMACX 4495 GVM upgrade, we do get a 185 litre replacement fuel tank in the rear. But then on top of that, we paired that with a Brown Davis 115 litre auxiliary fuel tank underneath the middle of the vehicle. So he's giving about 300 litres of fuel capacity. So he's not going to be running out of fuel anytime quick. So that's why we have the two fillers. So we've got the standard one at the rear of the tray, and then we've got the auxiliary one at the front of the tray there. The tray also includes a water tank underneath there as well, with your taps and your filler up on the headboard there. So moving under the bonnet, like all of our builds that we do here, we want to try and keep underneath the bonnet as clean and as simple as possible. Starting off with our power distribution off the start battery, which is a bit of a staple of ours now. We run the Pirate Camco battery clamp with the MIDI fuses bank on it, so that's a really nice, neat way to distribute power all through the vehicle through our battery systems, driving lights, air compressor, that type of thing. And we pair with the Unilug 2-up terminals. Again, just gives us more points for power distribution for like running your larger loads, like say your winch. Coming over to the performance side of things, obviously we've upgraded the airbox intake. We're also running the GSL crankcase breather. That's a really great product. That it does increase our crankcase pressure, but it also, we don't have to worry about draining the oil from a catch can as such, so it'll actually drain back into the engine. Also helps lubricate the timing chain as well, which is a great feature. Wheels opted to go all in the black, which I think is a really great, nice, neat look. Kind of keeps it OE look, but yeah, she's a bit nicer than factory looking. Airbox, that's a must in my opinion. Yeah, factory airboxes, you know, they've got a bit of a reputation for dusting engines, so the GSL airbox is a must in my opinion. Just gives you that really great seal, not going to get any dust into that intake. We'll also opted to go with the pre-line fuel filter kit, so that's got a water alarm and everything inside the car, so if he ever does pick up a bad batch of fuel, it's got a little LED light inside the car there and a little buzzer that'll let him know. And we've also got the Mark's 4-drive hydro booster. That's all part of the JMACX GVM upgrade, but that's a fantastic product. Really great pedal feel, really improves on that braking performance of the vehicle. We've also got the Safari RMAX snorkel just for our raised air intake. Pairs really nice into the GSL airbox, and it's in that newer design from Safari, which I quite like. It's definitely a different look to what they've done previously in the past. Come up an absolute treat. So coming to pretty well the heart and soul of this build, a lot of it was based around the electrical package that Will was chasing. So we wanted basically a lithium system that could run a 2000 watt inverter off. We have all this switching done through one control panel in the car. So we opted to go with the REDARC TVMS system paired with the Manager 30. That's a great package. So he has the ability, you can charge it off 240 volt. We've got solar input as well. Will plans to put a roof rack with a solar panel on the roof of this at a later date. So that's all set up, ready to go for it. Paired that with a Bonnet 150 amp hour lithium battery. Space obviously was a real issue we ran into. So that's about the largest capacity size we could get to fit in behind here. And then with the 2000 watt inverter, we've also managed to fit behind the seat as well. So really condensed package. So he's able to run say like an induction cooker off it if he ever needs to. He's got plenty of battery capacity even just for running fridges and stuff like that if he ever puts a canopy in that in the rear. Running the TVMS Prime and the Rogue, so a lot of the aftermarket switching the vehicle's controlled by the Rogue. The Prime has the ability to have a lot expanded onto it at a later date, and that's all controlled by the TVMS system on the centre console. Really happy with how this package has come up, especially on the department interior rear wall panel, integrating the multi-drive child anchor points in the rear. Obviously, you know, Will's got a young family, so we needed compliant points in the rear for him to put car seats out the back of the vehicle. That panel just really finishes it off. The Cruiser again is quite basic, so having that just gives it that really bespoke finish. Right up in the driver's seat, quite happy with how this has come up as well actually. We had a large controller, we had to try and find somewhere to mount. Will's quite a tall lad, so he didn't want a roof console in this one, so we had to come up with a different idea for mounting the REDARC TVMS screen. So we've run the department interior premium floor console, so that wraps nicely all around your 4-drive selector, and that gives us a couple extra sockets in that here that's all wired off the secondary battery system. A couple of cup holders, done a little gear stick extension too, just to make that gear shifting a little bit easier. And then we've paired with Forma 3D on this one to come up with a custom mount for the dash. So they've scanned the console and everything for us, come up with a design concept for the controller. Then we've had that vinyl wrapped in the same finish as the console, and that's come up really nice. So you can see that all from your driver's position while you're driving along. So again, key emphasis on the build was to have everything switched through the REDARC TVMS system, so we haven't used up really any of the blanks at all in the dash. So from his airbag up and down can be controlled through this, air compressor. The switching for his fuel tank is also done through the REDARC TVMS system, all these spotlights and that. We've also pre-wired the system too. He plans when he does the roof rack on top to have a light bar up top as well as some side shooter lights, so it's all pre-wired for that, ready to go. But on top of that, you can also watch his battery monitoring and that through this as well. So yeah, see how many amps and that either coming in or out of the battery. And then he's got the app that pairs to it as well, which you can see that, and also switch through as well if he desires. Got the Airbag Man gauge down inside there as well. So again, you can see all the controls and stuff, all just at the end of your fingertips. Your JMACX in-cab adjuster. We've got a really nice little mount there. Again, we've partnered up with Forma 3D on that one to come up with a mount. Done it in our OTA branding, so that houses that controller really nicely into the dash. Really integrates nicely. REDARC brake controller, a little LED light for our pre-fuel filter, and then we've done a RJ45 pass-through for that mic in case he ever does want to put it in the centre console or something like that. But it's come up really nicely with that Pirate Camco mic holder as well. Otherwise, we don't want it sitting down in the centre console, stuff like that. That's a really great product from them. So there you go. That's Project Spartan. Been an absolute pleasure building this one for Will. Hope he really enjoys it. It's been great to see it come together and how we envisioned it. But if you have any questions regarding this particular build or one for yourself, drop a comment below or feel free to get in touch with the team, Mick Tire 4x4 and Outdoor. Happy to help out with any questions you have.